Yo, yo, yo! What's up, cartoon crew? It's S to the H back at it again with another video. And today, we're going to be doing another Goosebumps Top 30. This time, it's inspired by Goosebumps Aussie fan. Now, as we all know, Goosebumps made its 90s TV debut with The Haunted Mask in 95. And ever since then, it was made into a TV series based on R.L. Stine's best-selling books for kids. Well, not all of them. The Goosebumps TV show ran with 74 episodes, with a few of them being two-parters and some originals. However, there weren't that many stories. There were actually a lot that they missed. And today, I'm going to be talking about 30 books I feel like would have been cool adaptations for the TV series. And that will include books that were either unreleased or later, even though that wouldn't really be necessary. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, this shouldn't really be on this list, considering it was adapted as the final Goosebumps episode, but only one part of it was adapted. Can you guess what that was? Part 2, Deep Trouble. Now, Deep Trouble is at number 30 because, well, let's be real. The real reason I put it on the list was because it was based on the sequel, Deep Trouble 2. How do I know that? Well, everybody does. That's why it's not all that good. Deep Trouble 1 included a giant hammerhead shark, plus mermaids. But Part 2 included fishy mutants. So, therefore, this was the Deep Trouble I would have wanted to see on TV. Not this. Although, to be honest, I guess I can understand why with the budget and everything. But still. Okay, now, one I feel like should be on this list. Should be an episode. Sorry. Number 29, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Now, we got Return of the Mummy, which obviously is kind of a misleading title since neither one of these mummies are even the same character, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure the reason for it was because of Prince Koru's popularity as the mummy in the Goosebumps series. The other guy, he was only used for one particular story, but that was it. So, I guess there's a reason for it. Number 28, Monster Blood 2. Now, we got Monster Blood. And then we got a second Monster Blood, which was, of course, not Monster Blood 2. It was called More Monster Blood, which, to be honest, I enjoyed. But if I were to, just compare, I feel like they were to, not really alike. I'm pretty sure the reason why Monster Blood 2 with Cuddles, I feel like would have been hard considering that it would have been a lot of money, including the budget to make the Cuddles animatronic, which would have been hard. So I guess I can kind of understand why. Moving on. Number 27, The Haunted School. Now, I feel like this was going to be in development for, the third season until Perfect School, which, to be honest, I can understand. You can pretty much see the cover for The Haunted School for advertising for, home media of this particular episode. Okay, next at number 26 is one that was actually supposed to be made into an episode. The Thumbprint of Doom. This was actually from the Tales to Give You Goosebumps line. And it was pretty much planned until the scriptwriter Neil Shusterman decided to adapt Awesome Ants instead. And the reason he felt he could do better with it, which to be honest I can understand. Number 25, we got another Monster Blood story, Monster Blood 3. Now, I feel like the main reason why is because they would have used a little too much special effects and CGI just to make Evan into a giant monster after drinking Monster Blood. Number 24, Please Don't Feed the Vampire. Now, in the Goosebumps movie, we had Fifi. And I guess the main reason why this was never adapted was because of the fact that this is a Give Yourself Goosebumps book. And to be honest, I can. There's actually going to be a lot of Give Yourself Goosebumps books included here, along with Tales to Give You Goosebumps. Well, not really that many, but still. Alright, number 23. Now, this one I can understand why, but if the Goosebumps TV series was still running, I could have seen this coming. The Haunted Car. I get this was late, but let's just move on. Number 22. Now, this is actually going to be like a shared slot, and that's the Triple Header series. I feel like this was actually intended. However, when part 3 was canceled, they actually decided to make an original, like, 3-part episode and call it Trilogy. Honestly, I don't really blame Protocol for that. Alright, number 21, I Live in Your Basement. Now, I feel like this was supposed to be done for, like, the end of Season 2. However, they actually decided to do the blob that ate everyone. And to be honest, I feel like the blob in the TV show was supposed to be the model of Keith. But what you gonna do? Number 20, we've got Why I'm Afraid of Bees. Now, I feel like the reason why this episode was never adapted is because, well, it would have been too much and a little, too depressing. Number 19, Slappy's Nightmare. Just for the record, this is not the only Slappy book on this list. Considering the fact that there was another one that was never adapted, but we'll get into that later. But before we move on to the next one, I feel like the real reason is because I kind of want to put a Crash Dummy PSA in there. You know what? I think I might do an adaptation for that in the future. I don't know. First, I would have to make a puppet of Wally or Mr. Wood, or what's even the difference at this point? You know what? Let's just keep it moving. Alright, number 18. Sorry. Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls. Alright, this is another late one, but hey, there's only one thing to consider. We got Welcome to Dead House. And I know that wasn't the only zombie story, considering that there was a zombie in the Haunted House game, but I feel like Attack of the Graveyard Ghouls would have been a cool story. Number 17. Deep in the Jungle of Doom, and the reason, Crombie. I feel like Warwick Davis should have been playing Crombie in this episode if it were adapted. Excuse me, sorry. Number 16, Zombie School. Well, I don't really have a reason, it's just, why not? Sorry. Number 15, Legend of the Lost Legend. Honestly, I kind of wanted this to be an episode, however, I did see something about the 2023 show having this as an element for Season 3, which unfortunately never came since Goosebumps 2023 was canceled, and I don't really want to talk about that. Let's just move on. Okay, number 14, Return to Terror Tower. Now, the first Night in Terror Tower was a part of Season 1. So, to be honest, I feel like A Night in Terror Tower should have deserved another TV adaptation. Specifically, this one. Sorry. Please just ignore Jaeger barking in the background. Anyway, let's just move on. Number 13, Monster Blood 4. To be honest, I can understand why. I mean, the cover for the actual book itself is ridiculous. Plus, I feel like the monster blood, like, slug blobs would have been too much work. Number 12, Pumpkin Juice. Now, as we all know, Halloween's coming up soon, and I felt like it would have been a good idea to include this as one of them, the episodes that should have been adapted. But then again, we got Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns during Season 2, so yeah. But at the same time, I kind of want an adaptation for this. But anyway, yeah, let's just move it. Number 11, Escape from the Funfair of Horrors. Wait, I mean, Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. I mean, hey, we got Horrorland in Season 3. Not to mention, we may or may not have gotten a reference for this particular story for a Goosebumps Alive promotional pic. Either way, yeah. Number 10. Now, this is actually from the current series, Goosebumps House of Shivers, which, to be honest, is madness because Slappy's not a part of it, so yeah. But I feel like if the Goosebumps TV series was still going on even today, we could have had this. Goblin Monday. Now, this was another element R.L. Stine wanted to be a part of Goosebumps Season 3 on Disney Plus and Hulu, which, again, never happened, and to be honest, this is only gonna be the only House of Shivers book on this list. And the reason I'm counting this one as the only House of Shivers is because I'm not really a fan of the House of Shivers line because Slappy's not there. But you know what? You gotta take one for the modern times, right? Moving on is one that's not really Goosebumps. We're actually starting to get into the more lost media picks. This one was technically released, but not as Goosebumps, and that is Slime Doesn't Pay. Now, this was actually supposed to be released for Goosebumps. However, the final release version was still R.L. Stine, but it wasn't Goosebumps. Alright, now, the next few on this list, I'm actually going to be including books from a lost line, Goosebumps Gold. And to be honest, this actually has to do with the success of the Haunted Mask. And that is number 8, The Haunted Mask Lives. Now, this is a Goosebumps Gold book, which never came out with any novels, so I guess it's clear why this was never adapted. I mean, the Goosebumps TV series was pretty much done with at the time, but still. Plus, if the TV show was still going and the line was released, I feel like we would have had a chance of this. Having Catherine Wong returning for another Haunted Mask story. Number 7 is another late one, Slappy New Year. Now, this was unreleased for Goosebumps Gold, but it was released for Goosebumps Horrorland. So I guess there's an understandable reason why this was never released. 2 of them, anyway. In the last Goosebumps Gold book, number 6, Happy Holidays from Dead House. I mean, again, we got Welcome to Dead House during Season 2. But I don't want to go any further with that, so let's just move. Number 5. Now, this might sound ridiculous, but Chicken Chicken. I mean, I feel like the reason why is because of the book cover itself. It was bad, silly, and the premise of a witch turning kids into chicken. Lava it! Okay, I know, that was too much. Moving on to number 4. We got The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. Now, I feel like the reason why this was never adapted was because of its cover. I mean, the character of Counselor Buddy looking like... I can't even say it, otherwise I'm gonna get into trouble by the YouTube team. But you know what I'm trying to say. Although, hey, at the same time, if this was to be adapted, I feel like there would have been a chance to have another guest star. So, and if Attack of the Mutants guest starred Adam West as the Galloping Gazelle, I feel like they could have special guest casted Jim Carrey as Counselor Buddy. I mean, Jim Carrey was pretty much getting started just like Goosebumps was in the 90s, so I guess that's fair. Moving on anyway. Number 3, Weekend at Poison Lake. I mean, the only reason is because the character of Ellie the Succubus kind of reminds me of Poison by Alice Cooper. Moving on. Number 2, we're getting to the end with Broken Dolls, because why on earth not, am I right? Speaking of dolls, it's time for the number 1 book I feel like should have been made into a TV episode. I've been teasing it for a while, mentioning this particular character, Slappy anyway, but I'm pretty sure it's clear what I'm about to say next. Number 1, Night of the Living Dummy. The first Night of the Living Dummy, might I add. Because let's be real, during the Slappy saga, the Goosebumps TV show adapted Night of the Living Dummy 2, 3, heck, even Bride, but not the first. Now, there's actually been a lot of rumors going all around. Like was the episode canceled, banned, lost? And some of the theories actually explain the design of Slappy. which looks a lot different from his book counterpart. Rumor has it that the sloppy dummy that was used for the Goosebumps TV series was initially supposed to be used for Mr. Wood, who was, of course, the main villain in the first Night of the Living Dummy. Now, are any of these rumors true? Sadly not. Because it's been confirmed by the show's producer, Steve Levitan, that the Night of the Living Dummy 1 was not worthy for TV. And it added insult to injury. There is no lost footage, which crushed my heart. Look how sad I was. Look at the emotion in me. Well, at least we got a reasonable answer. And, well, that's pretty much the top 30 Goosebumps stories I wish they made into TV episodes. And before I sign off, I have an announcement to make. Starting today, I'm going to start working on Evolution of Film Intros Season 1, Episode 3, focusing on Halloween, 1978 to 2022. After all, spooky season's just about to start, and what better to start than some old-fashioned terror? But anyway, that's all for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content that strolls your way. And until next time, this is S to the H saying, peace out and see you next time.